And so away we go from Lubbock. The Red Raiders in their home white. Arkansas in the road red. Davide Moretti will run the point for the Red Raiders. Matt Mooney's looking to break out of a slump, and we got a foul inside already. And an offensive foul on Orange Odiasi. So Chris Beard took his team to the Elite Eight last season, and what a difference a week and a half makes. They were top 10 in the country, a win away from being the #1 team in the Big 12. But since then, 3 consecutive losses, all to unranked teams. First time in a long time that's happened for the Red Raiders.
Can flat out shoot that basketball for Arkansas, as can number 1. Number 1, Isaiah Joe, the best three-point shooter in the freshman class in all of college ball.
This is a young Arkansas team. Joe, a true freshman. Jalen Harris is a redshirt sophomore. Shot clock is at 5. Harris gets free, and it's sent to the first row by Tariq Owens.
Yeah, short clock, and Arkansas has to go to a fast sprint out ball screen. Gafford's so quick in and out of ball screen action, and Harris just gets it erased by Tariq Owens.
Led the Big East in blocks last year. Jones forces a 3. It's a shot clock violation. The best defensive team, according to KenPom in all of college basketball, shows what they do so well on that end.
Tommy, they're really good. They don't let the ball get reversed. They force it on the side. They down ball screen action. They are a headache to try to score against for 40 minutes.
Number 1 in defensive efficiency. Here's Jarrett Culver. He's been pulled from deep, but he hits his first 4th straight game of the 3 for Culver, even though the percentage isn't great. A young but talented Arkansas team. Here's Joe, the freshman. And Culver will bring it up.
23 in white he's going to be a top 15 pick. A big 6'5" guard that can jump up and make guarded shots. He's phenomenal off the bounce. Only 14% from the three-point line in Big 12 play. But the stroke, there's nothing really wrong with it. At times he'll lean back a little bit with his head, come up short. But a super offensive talent is 23 in white.
Culver gives it up. Moretti will tee one up. He'd been hot from deep. He's made 8 of his last 18. What does Arkansas want to be from a tempo perspective tonight?
They want to get the thing going back and forth a little bit, Tom, especially if they can create some turnovers and get out and run. Gafford, number 10 in red, terrific speed for a big kid that can put pressure on you in transition.
That one skipped off the rim from Mason Jones. He's made just 2 of his last 15 from deep. They need to find some scores. Mooney, the 2-time transfer, gives it up. Moretti lost it. It'll end up out front with Jalen Harris. They call him J5, and he's got Arkansas's first bucket.
That's how Arkansas can stay in the game, if not win the game on the road. They are a disruptive, chaotic team. Right now they're switching 1 through 4. At times they will switch 1 through 5. Not afraid for Gafford to go out and take on a point guard as well.
Jump in the passing lane. The gamble doesn't pay off. Culver will try to drive. Great with the drifting pass. And then Moretti draws a foul and 1.
A really nice job by Moretti to play through contact. The hammer pass across the baseline, and then one more pass gets Moretti 2 feet in the paint. And a good job by Moretti to take the hit right there and then keep his shoulders square, his eyes and his chin set on the rim. Very well done.
Second best free throw shooter in the Big 12. Moretti makes it an old-fashioned 3-point play. And Texas Tech goes to the bench immediately. Kyler Edwards will enter and give Moretti a break.
Chris Beard challenged his guys yesterday afternoon as hard as I've seen a coach challenge his team in terms of the definition of, are we truly tough or are we rah-rah tough? Texas Tech prides himself on being a tough-minded group.
A swing to the top of the key. Joe misses his first attempt.
He has to make shots for Arkansas to stay in this game.
Nice feed. And we get a walk and a Texas Tech turnover.
Now, Arkansas has really fast, Tom, recovery speed defensively. You might get a backdoor cut on them every now and then. Watch the last 3 ball games, but they are so fast. at recovering from a defensive mistake.
They haven't been great in the half court, and that holds true for the beginning of this one. Just 1 for 6 to start, and 0 for 4 from deep. Megan 1 for 7 to start, but an offensive board. Gafford inside.
Yeah, he has to stay active and chase down loose ball rebounds in this ball game. This is going to be a contact game. Gafford has struggled with contact. He's now a sophomore that must impact this game. All those are going to be a lot of body blows delivered to him. Mike Anderson has challenged this guy coming into the game and said, listen, they're going to get their body all over you. This can't be a game where you only get 5 or 6 touches and 5 or 6 points. So far, Gafford's energy and his ability to play through hard hits, impressive to me.
Throughout the game, we'll talk about some of the reasons why Arkansas hasn't done a great job of getting Gafford the ball. But moments ago, Mason Jones committed his second personal foul off the ball and away from the action. So he'll have to take a seat early.
And that's not good news for Arkansas. Arkansas has 3 guys in their lineup that have gone for 30 points in a single game. He being one of them. Good cut.
And an easy look inside for Brandon Francis, who started his career at the University of Florida, recruited there by Billy Donovan. It's been a while. Baseline jumper comes quick, and it's good for Keyshawn Embry-Simpson.
You have to make some guarded shots against Texas Tech, and that is one of Arkansas's strengths from their guard position. They can make late clock guarded shots. See a lot of motion offense today out of Texas Tech. That goes back to the lineage of Chris Beard being under Bob Knight for several years.
What's interesting is Arkansas making late clock guarded shots. Texas Tech, one of the best in the country in late clock defense. Culver on his way in. Offensive foul. And that'll be costly for Jarrett Culver, the Texas Tech star.
It's a big job by Embry-Simpson to rotate over on a phenomenal, fast, long driver. Culver, a guy that you want him aggressive.
In the Texas Tech huddle.
Yeah, and it changes from game to game for Texas Tech, but that's going to be held up during every timeout. Who's getting back? That's the respect they have for Arkansas in transition. Box off, because you know Arkansas gets all over that offensive glass. And you've got to keep Arkansas off the boards.
By the way, Lamonte Turner got the start for Tennessee today. Last year's SEC 6th Man of the Year. He led the Vols in scoring with 23 for the #1 team in the country. Davide Moretti's been an impact player early on. The steal, the dish. And back out to Moretti to set it up.
Tennessee is a real team. There's nothing fake about the Tennessee Volunteers. What a phenomenal game Wednesday night that Grant Williams put on at Vanderbilt with 43 points and 23 straight free throws. They needed every one of them.
They doubled Culver. He got it out. 5 on the shot clock. And a 3 from the wing from Brandon Francis. Chris Beard, a picture of focus throughout this one. Embry-Simpson, no. But Gafford finds it. And so once again, Texas Tech not checking those boxes. They didn't box out, and Gafford ends up with the board.
Yeah, and just the long rebounds against Arkansas that you have to run down. They're going to fire threes, and those threes are going to run out long on us.
All right, college basketball Super Tuesday presented by Boost Mobile coming your way. Kansas and Texas to get things started. And then Jimmy has a big one in the SEC. Number 8, Kentucky, right now tied with Kansas early. He's taking on Vanderbilt. What do you make of Kentucky and Vandy, who gave Tennessee all they could handle?
Yeah, that's going to be an electric atmosphere Tuesday night. Vanderbilt, at Kentucky, they played zone for 40 minutes, and that's one of the things you question from Kentucky at times is how will they knock down threes. We saw that today by Duke. Georgia Tech goes Duke the entire ball game. Duke is 2 out of 21 from the three-point line.
Duke held on to win that one. Adriel Bailey at the free throw line. And Arkansas within a bucket. They'll bring Reggie Chaney off the bench. Mike Anderson's really thrilled with the guys off of his bench lately, and he's expecting them to be key for him tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Not so much scoring points, but just can you come in, keep our defensive energy alive, keep the game kind of at a chaotic, we'll trap you at certain parts of the floor and keep you out of a rhythm. Energy is what he wants.
And his substitution patterns don't always make sense to anybody but him. He'll throw guys out there, give them a chance, and he's not afraid to get them back on the bench if it doesn't work. Osaboyan is also on the floor right now for Arkansas.
Arkansas really sitting in a stance well. They're on the white line on the weak side of the floor.
And then a foul with 4 seconds on the shot clock from freshman guard Desi Sills.
You're going to get a steady dose from Texas Tech of pin downs, flare action, back screens. A little bit of ball screen sprinkled in their motion offense. They have set plays when they want to get Culver going, but 60-70% of their offensive possessions, Tommy, are motion offense, making you work and see if you will break down when they get to that 4th or 5th pass.
Red Raiders on a 3-game losing streak, lost in Manhattan, Kansas. Scored just 45 points in the midweek loss to the Wildcats. There's Matt Mooney, started his playing career at Air Force and then South Dakota, and now here in Lubbock for Texas Tech.
A place I don't want to be next week is South Dakota. The wind chill factor is going to be minus 54 degrees. Are you kidding me?
It's going to be tough to keep the Coyotes warm.
Yes.
They can take Chris Beard's fire up there. Yes. That might help.
I saw that yesterday. Like the wind chills, minus 63, minus 54, minus 52.
Chris Beard's fireside chats, which we had an homage to in our open, have become quite the popular message here in Lubbock. They've done a couple of live ones, another live one coming up before their big Monday matchup with TCU. Kind of has a deep thoughts feel to it. Here's Culver with the drive and the dish. He's a great assist man.
Wow.
He gets another and a 4-point chance for Moretti. It's the second time Moretti's been fouled on a shot.
And a great paint decision by Jarrett Culver. He has gravity ability. Talking about 23 and white. Gravity ability is the defense is going to respond to this guy's action with the ball, and he makes the right read. Once he gets right to the paint, the kick out to Moretti, the undisciplined closeout by Arkansas results in a possible 4-point play.
It was Reggie Chaney with the foul. Moretti has gotten a bonus shot on each of his 2 field goals. He's got 7 early.
Aggressive Texas Tech trap after free throws made.
Arkansas just 4 for 11 from the field, and the Razorbacks turn it over. Their 4th turnover here in the first 7 minutes.
Tom, keep an eye. Texas Tech defensively, they are so unique. One of the things they do when Mike Anderson's guys have the ball on the side of the floor, they're going to force that ball to stay on the side. They down, even without a ball screen action going on, they force you down to the short corner.
Is there a way to beat it? Can you find the weak side, or they're just so good at forcing it?
Well, you have to fight to get those weak side reverses, but you have to get the ball reversed against Texas Tech. If you do, you can get them in some bad closeouts.
Mooney feeds the corner, and Moretti misses for the first time. Texas Tech with a hot start offensively. They've made 6 of their 8 for a team that typically gets it done in the defensive end. And then Moretti with the foul. His first.
An example of it right there. Embry Simpson saw the down action, and his defender said, you're going to have to drive this thing like down the 45-degree slot, and that's going to happen time and time again in this ball game for Arkansas. Can they make the right play as they attack that slot?
Are you surprised at the Red Raiders' offensive start tonight?
A little bit, as much as they've struggled shooting the ball, and they've gotten good looks. The ball just hasn't gone in for the last 3 times in Big 12 play.
Speaking of getting the ball in, Daniel Gafford has had to make the most of his touches on his own. Their leading option on offense typically, or as is typical, not getting great looks from his teammates. Kicks it out. And Owens with the solid block out. Here's Jarrett Culver.
How about the box off? So good that the ball hit the ground first.
Tech has missed 2 in a row for the first time tonight.
I'm watching Texas Tech. What are they doing to Daniel Gafford to start the game? They're not throwing him one defensive look, Tom. They're circle action on him. They're putting an arm ball on him. They'll front him a little bit, then quickly get behind. They're kind of stunning at him, and his catches right now are not on the sweet spot. And he's going to have to make some plays off the dunk spot if they continue to push him off that lane.
Gafford's had some big games this season. 32 against LSU, 27 and 12 against Indiana. He leads the country in dunks. 43% of his field goals are rim rockers. Harris, scoop shot, nope. And a slow start to this thing for Arkansas, but we got out of bounds on the Red Raiders.
Now, I got on the plane yesterday in Dallas to come to Lubbock, and 4 NBA scouts were sitting up there in the same area that I was, and they all said, tell us about Gafford. What do you know about Gafford? Know that I'm from Fayetteville, and they recognize just how good of an athlete this kid is. But he's going to have to fight for his touches and play in a crowd today because Texas Tech is going to constantly keep him surrounded.
Tariq Owens with the foul. That was really nice of you to give those guys a ride on Jimmy's jet.
It was, yeah. It's just getting the new leather seats put in.
I mean, the good news, I'm not mad. I'm not jealous.
You went on it, by the way.
My bags fly free on Southwest.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite.
I'll get you out of here tonight.
All right. Extended possession for Arkansas. Oh, got fouled. The three-point attempt. Chris Beard is all sorts of red face now.
Yeah, he did. And you have to have the respect for Isaiah Joe. He's going to make some deep threes, but you don't run at the shot side of his body. And Chris Beard is a guy that is a stickler for details. Fan base doesn't think that it's a foul. I thought he grazed him just enough for the officials to make the call.
And so Isaiah Joe to the free throw line. He's got 3 free throws coming his way. Isaiah Joe is from Fort Smith, Arkansas, less than an hour away from Fayetteville. He's been an impact player right off the bat. Number 2 player in the state and led Northside High School to consecutive 7A state championships.
Yeah, I watched him play in high school a couple of times. And when he came to Arkansas's campus back in late summer, he was 6'5" and about 156 pounds. He is rail thin. He's now up to 166, but he is the best shooter in this year's freshman class in all of college basketball.
Second best in the SEC from deep, next to Missouri's Mark Smith. Joe hits off 3.
Arkansas plays with big hands around the basketball, active hands. If you get careless, it will be a rip and run on the other end quickly.
Good look inside. Owens couldn't slam it home. Here's Isaiah Joe to lead the break. And the beautiful finish from Jalen Harris. A concern for Texas Tech getting back.
Yeah, the overall team speed of Arkansas, a little bit of a problem right now for Texas Tech on their floor. Arkansas cannot score enough points if it's a truly half-court game. Those transition buckets are huge for the Razorbacks.
We talked about Daniel Gafford as he gets whistled for the foul, but here's a guy who plays above the rim.
When we player around the rim, he's a phenomenal shot blocker, and he also leads Arkansas with deflections. A very active defensive presence.
5th turnover of the game for Texas Tech. Here's Harris. He had Gafford but didn't get it to him. And so those keys that we showed you earlier in the Texas Tech huddle not going the way Chris Beard wanted him to. Jones for 3, and it rattles home. That's his first bucket.
That entire possession, Texas Tech was chasing instead of defending, and there's a major difference. Arkansas just drive and kick, and finally a wide open three-point shot.
It's an 8-0 Arkansas run to tie the game at 17.
Arkansas fighting every pass right now.
Mooney drew the whistle. All right, so Daniel Gafford, pro or no?
Well, I go back to when I was an NBA scout 25 years ago, and talking to NBA scouts that I do on a regular basis right now. The five things you have to answer. Can you impact the game offensively? Can you guard multiple positions? It's huge right now in that league. What is your NBA skill that you know if we take you in the draft, you're going to do every single night? Can you stretch the floor? Tommy, that's huge right now in the league. And then does he get it? What do we mean by that? Is he a worker? Is he going to understand and roll? Embrace his role? Does he understand the importance of conditioning and rest and how to be a pro? I think Gafford checks a lot of those areas right now. The one thing I don't know about Gafford is how does he score in an NBA game? He hasn't proven a back-to-the-basket go-to move. What he can do, though, is really run, really set ball screens, dive out of them, and be a lob factor, which you see a lot of bigs in the NBA will have a 10-year career because they can do those things.
And he picked up his second personal foul, so we'll have to sit for a moment. The ball stays with Texas Tech. I was talking with an NBA scout the other day. He loved the way that Daniel Gafford runs the floor, not just for him to get looks, but in this day and age, you go down the middle of the floor and you open up those corner threes.
Yes, that is so huge. And not only can Gafford run, he's committed to run. He has conviction about it from rim to rim.
Extra possession for Texas Tech. Moretti finds Culver for 3. And Jalen Harris finds the long rebound. 3-on-3. Harris takes it himself against Culver. And we got one in the cylinder. And basket interference on Reggie Chaney. Saturday, NBA primetime is a star-studded matchup with Boogie, Steph, KD playing the Warriors in Boston to battle Kyrie and the Celtics. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown at 8 Eastern on ABC, and you can always watch both on the ESPN app from anywhere. NBA All-Star Game in Charlotte this year. Curry brothers both going to participate in the three-point contest.
Arkansas now in their zone, a matchup zone. It's a long, active. They still get out and really pressure the ball.
Moretti, 2 for him.
He made some big shots, hadn't he?
Plays like the son of a coach. His dad, Paolo, championship coach back in their home country of Italy. Chaney Back rimmed it. So after that 8-0 run, Texas Tech trying to pose their will and take control again. Nice feed. And then Tech throws it away.
And remember, the board that Texas Tech holds up every timeout says 10 turnovers or less today. Well, Coach Beard, you know as well as I do, they're tracking high above that right now with 6 already in this first half.
SEC needs a couple of wins in both of these games in the nightcap to even the SEC Big 12 Challenge. And right now, Kansas having its way with Kentucky up 14-6 in Lexington. Oyasi with the rebound.
Well, Arkansas is getting good looks, though, against an outstanding defensive team. The ball is hot right now for Arkansas. They're attacking gaps and making right plays off the bounce and off the pass.
They bring a double again. And it's taken away by Arkansas. Turnover number 7 for Texas Tech.
That's almost an impossible pass that Texas Tech just tried to make. You're being double teamed with your back to the basket, trying to throw a hammer pass through the crowd.
Osaboyan, he got his blocked. Turns into a 3, and that one's off the mark. Arkansas just 1 of 8 from behind the arc.
Arkansas sending everybody to the offensive glass right now. They can kind of sniff that Texas Tech is not in a hurry to run that ball off the floor.
They haven't been a very good offensive rebounding team so far this season. Culver lost it. Another Texas Tech turnover.
They're 7th in the first half for Texas Tech. Chris Beard, a guy that values that basketball as much as any coach that I know.
You said it was a pretty intense practice yesterday.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, yes. I came in and sat till I was spoken to. And then he asked me to come speak to his team. That's some pressure. After watching a guy for 2 hours, hard coaches guys in the right way, and then says, Coach Dykes, what do you have to share with us?
Good cop, bad cop. Something to be gained.
Yeah.
Adriel Bailey, challenge 2. Got it.
Good player, Bailey is. I like his energy. Now, he'll miss some shots around the rim because he's a little undersized on the inside, but he comes in and just makes plays.
Red Raiders have turned it over on 3 consecutive possessions. Edwards solves that turnaround jumper.
Get to the sweet spot against Arkansas and getting to the inside of their defense. See how they try to keep the ball on the side. There's no ball screen being set. They're just trying to keep you over there to keep any reversal action from happening quickly. Very unique on-ball stance that Texas Tech uses.
A reach in from Moretti, got the ball loose and into the expensive seats. And we're going to foul on the reach in. Texas Tech up by 3.
I still question Duke on a neutral floor when you get to that Sweet 16 Elite 8 game up against a team like a Texas Tech, like a Virginia, like a Michigan that just absolutely guards you and makes you make jump shots. And they were 2 for 21 today from that 3-point line. That's a concern.
They didn't play their first true road game until ACC play.
Yeah.
And that's a young team. Obviously, we know about the freshmen. Yeah. Is that a concern when you go on the road in the ACC or, as you said, in the NCAA tournament?
Well, I think by then they'll be fine. Another turnover, the 9th turnover, Tommy, by Texas Tech in this first half. They wanted 10 for the game.
They'll count that shot for Adriel Bailey. He's got 7 now, and Arkansas has pulled it within 1.
Arkansas makes it hard to run offense. They make it very difficult to run your plays. They make you make plays. And Texas Tech has had more than their fair share of struggles in that area. And now that big 2-3 matchup zone that Mike Anderson has in his back pocket that gets him some good possessions every ball game out of it.
They are not, Texas Tech is not a very good offensive team against a zone. Their jump shot shooting against a zone is only 34%. That is abysmal.
That's bad.
Shot clock's at 4. Moretti got bumped, no whistle. Ends up throwing it off the rim and in. How about the game for Davide Moretti, the sophomore from Italy?
Arkansas played outstanding defense for about 26 seconds. Then they let a gap between 2 guys coming together, just enough of a slip area for Moretti to get through.
Mason Jones kicks in the corner. And then Arkansas turns it over. Possession error will keep it with the Razorbacks.
Moretti has been good in this ball game. He's the 2nd leading scorer on the year. And in late clock situation, he doesn't feel the pressure, right? Watch the slip right there. Splits right between two defenders instead of Chaney coming over and sealing it off, understanding what the shot clock was dictating defensively. Moretti makes another hard-guarded shot in this first half.
He's been great in conference play. 10 points a game on the season, but 14 points a game in Big 12 action. Culver knocked it out of bounds.
Think about Arkansas. They're down 3 on the road. They've only made 1 3. What are they, 1 out of 8 or 1 out of 9?
1 of 8.
Yeah, from the three-point line. So it's a dangerous three-point shooting club with Mason Jones and Isaiah Joe.
Embry Simpson with a baseline move. Help there from Culver. Shot clock winding out, and it will be a shot clock violation. Second one for Arkansas tonight. We made a lot of Jarrett Culver, guys who score in this league, third in the Big 12. What have you seen from Jarrett Culver so far in this game?
Well, at times, like I said, going to the first break, you want Jarrett Culver being aggressive because at times he waits too late in the game to try to take the thing over because he has takeover ability. And there he is with that basketball, and now you put him inside the zone and let him start being a playmaker because he can jump up and make fadeaways. He can play through the nail as a passer, and he's really good in traffic, Tom, off 1 or 2 bounces. Chris Beard brought me down here back in the fall to spend the day with he and his staff and talk with their team. And Jarrett Culver said, "Coach, can I talk to you for about 30 minutes?" And we went in an office, just he and I. And he said, what do I have to do to be great? I mean, this is a kid that wakes up with a plan every day. They have to, kind of manage his minutes or he'll outwork himself. But he's one of those kids that high character, studies film, lives in the gym, gets up extra shots before and after practice, and really has a pro approach as a college player.
Sophomore from right here in Lubbock at a Coronado High School. Had a great game against Duke earlier this season. Had Mike Krzyzewski singing his praises. He had 25 in what was the Red Raiders' lone loss until a week and a half ago. Culver tracks it down from behind, comes away with a steal, but they're missing both free throws. Brandon Francis gives it up.
Again, that team speed of Arkansas, though, to recover from behind in transition and get matched. Very impressive.
Culver left it short and wide.
That's that little fade away, kind of a Kobe Bryant type shot that Culver will take 3 or 4 times a game.
Arkansas just 1 of 8 from 3. But their inside presence, Daniel Gafford, has been on the bench for the last 10 minutes now. 6 seconds on the shot clock.
Now watch the shot got by Culver. Pretty good jab step. He goes up and then leans back with his head just a little bit. And not only is it short, it's off to the left. It's really good defense by Osaboyan to not let the jab step free himself up.
Culver get a break. Tariq with another block. Tariq Owens started his career at Tennessee, then St. John's. He's blocked shots in a lot of leagues. And Texas Tech finds the offensive board.
Boy, Texas Tech runs to that far corner, don't they, in transition? They get there quickly.
Tyler Edwards into the paint, deflected by Arkansas, into the hands of Embry Simpson. And he gets a blocking foul on Moretti. That's Moretti's second.
We're up to 11, 12 turnovers by Texas Tech in this game. It's all Arkansas's defense, speeding them up. They will random switch at times, random trap you at times in the half court. They completely take you out of any type of offensive rhythm. If you're not strong with the ball and play off of 2 feet, and you're Texas Tech today, you're going to turn this thing over 20 times.
Deshaun Embry Simpson with a couple of free throws coming. He's a freshman from Midwest City, Oklahoma. They'll bring Culver back in. Moretti gets a seat.
Does it make sense, Tom, what I said? If you drive the ball to the paint against Arkansas and you don't come to a 2-footed jump stop and make sure passes, this turnover number is just going to continue to ding, 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 and ring up against Texas Tech on their own home floor.
Razorbacks pride themselves on deflections.
Yes, yes. They chart it, they track it, it's in their DNA. That's who they are.
Arkansas within one.
They have gotten nothing out of Gafford in this half because of foul trouble. They're not making threes. Mike Anderson's got to feel good about his young piglets, as he refers to them, on the road right now.
That's a compliment, right?
Absolutely it is.
Corprew with a three. His first bucket of the night. He had scored in the last 3 games. Osaboyan early three.
They shoot with no conscience, Arkansas. They are fed with confidence. If they get a trail three, it doesn't matter if it's early in the clock or not. Those guys are wired to fire.
It's not very often that Mike Anderson will take a guy out because of shot selection.
No, he'll take him out for not shooting. He wants his guys to play with freedom and aggressive on the offensive end.
Mooney got it blocked on a fadeaway. Shot clock will wind out on Texas Tech. And Arkansas forces another Red Raider turnover. It's their 12th.
Sped up. They haven't been strong with the ball. They're not playing off at 2 feet. And look at Arkansas right now, as young as they are. They've gotten nothing out of Gafford in the first half. Isaiah Joe, the best shooter in the freshman class, hasn't made a three, and they're right in this game.
Tariq Owens with a big block for Texas Tech against his young Arkansas team that doesn't have a single senior. Good ball movement. Here's Culver now. Great reaction by Arkansas.
Aren't they, though? I'm telling you, that their overall team speed, they are faster at all 5 spots on the floor in this game.
Mooney.
Good cut.
But Texas Tech turns it over again. Coming up on the E-Trade halftime report, Duke and Tennessee both prevail. We'll have scores and highlights, including a buzzer beater from North Carolina State with a big win on their home court today. Kansas right now leading Kentucky under 3 minutes to go in the first half. It's a 5-point lead for the Jayhawks.
Arkansas with a staggered screen series on the weak side. Texas Tech chasing it out, doing a better job of caboosing shooters.
Caboosing them. Joe makes his first jumper. It's only a 2. They're going to go back and look at it, though, at the next dead ball.
He has developed that shot fake since he's been on Arkansas's campus, because in high school level, he just rise up and fire, and now he's adjusted to scouting report defense. They shot fake, and the side dribble frees him up for a 3.
So the Razorbacks trail by as many as 8. They have their first lead tonight, trying to add to it. 4-on-2 break. Osaboyan turns it over.
We don't have to go to the Texas Tech locker room to hear Chris Beard at halftime. We'll probably be able to sit right here where we are. They have 14 turnovers in this ball game. They've only shot the ball 18 times.
1:42 to go in the first half. This defensive affair. Back to Lubbock after this.
I'm a bunch of wind. And just like your stomach after that strip mall sushi, well, I'm a bit unpredictable. Let's redecorate. What's the matter, Tanya? I thought you loved being spontaneous.
I do.
And if you got the wrong home insurance coverage, I might break the bank, too. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
The 6th annual SEC Big 12 Challenge presented by Continental Tire. Iowa State went down to Oxford, got a big win against Ole Miss. Surprise win. Texas A&M against Kansas State. Same with Georgia. Nearly put up 100 today against the Longhorns. Oklahoma State prevailed against one of the best teams in the SEC. Knocked off South Carolina. Tennessee, only 1 loss in the season. Big win at home against West Virginia. Kansas and Kentucky ongoing. Any of those surprise you?
Yes, the Kansas State losing at Texas A&M. K-State playing the best basketball of anybody in the Big 12 coming into the challenge today, and Texas A&M said screeching halt to that.
Davide Moretti has 14. He's just 5 off of his career high, and he's only got 1/2 under his belt tonight. Isaiah Joe, pump fake again. Try to fit it in. It will stay with Arkansas. 1 minute to go in the first half. Announced earlier today that both conferences have signed on for 6 more years of the SEC Big 12 Challenge.
Tariq Owens can bother that ball as an inbounds defender. Arkansas using a small guard to take it out. Harris at 6'1", and Tariq Owens at 6'10", 6'11", making it difficult
Wanted to mention, by the way, the four SEC teams not participating, 3 of them in the top 25.
Yeah, that's a tough thing for SEC to work through today. Auburn, LSU, and Mississippi State. LSU, a team right now just inside the top 25. They are loaded. They've got dudes. They've got talent. And they could very well make a deep, deep run in March.
They're at Missouri tonight, place where Mike Anderson used to coach. Took the Tigers to an Elite 8 in 2009. The scheduling of the challenge goes in 2-year cycles, so we're due for a new one. A foul on the drive, and that will go against the Razorbacks in an Arkansas turnover. So 14 teams in the SEC, 10 in the Big 12, and not only Missouri, LSU tonight, but also Auburn and Mississippi State, and that's a battle of ranked opponents.
Yeah. Texas Tech tries to take 5 charges per game. If you're Arkansas, you have to know it when you get near that restricted arc.
Saboyan with the foul on the other end.
And that is a pressure zone that Arkansas is playing right now. If you can't get the ball to the nail and play around that Big 12 logo, you're in trouble.
Culver trying to do that. And he picks up an offensive foul. So Jarrett Culver with his second. Daniel Gafford hadn't played in the last 10 minutes after picking up his second.
One thing I've watched on Jarrett Culver that I'd like to see him do a better job of, he doesn't have great breaks. And Arkansas now has taken advantage of that twice, picking up 2 charging calls on this kid. He put the ball, he drove the thing to the paint, but he doesn't stop fast for a big kid, something that he's going to have to work on. Arkansas has obviously seen that in the scouting report as well, and they are running at 23 in white when he brings the ball into the teeth of the defense.
Both of Culver fouls, to your point, were offensive fouls. Yeah. The break shop I go to, they say if the breaks don't stop you, something will. Maybe they're just good enough. So 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds difference, the shot clock and the game clock. They've gone to the half at Rupp, Kansas, with a 33-30 lead. Dedrick Lawson already has a double-double in that one, 11 and 11 for the Memphis transfer.
How about Mike Anderson? I didn't realize it, but Mike Anderson has had 0 losing seasons in 15-plus years as a head coach. Roy Williams, Tom Izzo, and Mark Few are the other 3 guys on that list that have never had a losing season in that many years as a head coach. That's some pretty tall company, right?
Yeah, that's legit. He's in his 17th season now, started at UAB as a head coach. Graduate of Tulsa, and then to Missouri and Arkansas.
It's a foul.
Can't do that.
Smash up into a guy and 80 feet away from the basket and allow Arkansas to walk down and shoot free throws.
What do you think? You mentioned we can hear Chris Beard from here at the half. What do you think he's most perturbed by in this first half?
Well, he'll get the big whiteboard out and say, have we done any of these 3 things so far in this ball game? Arkansas is getting on the offensive glass. We're turning it over, and when we do, we're not getting back in transition. Look at that right there. 13 turnovers a game. It's a little higher than that in Big 12 play, and already tonight 15. They are loose with the ball, but Arkansas is causing those turnovers, Tom, by how hot their hands are around the ball. They're playing with big hands, and they're really speeding up Texas Tech on their home floor.
Culver and Moretti back in. Corprew will take a seat. That was his second. And Adriel Bailey late to the party. Another free throw coming for Jalen Harris, 3rd-year sophomore out of Wilson, North Carolina, who started his playing career at the University of New Mexico.
Well, if he could shoot, his game would really go to another level because he does so many things so well for a fast point guard. 6 assists a ball game right now in SEC play.
Just 37% shooter. Yeah, Arkansas stays in the zone here.
I'm not sure because Texas Tech has stood and done nothing. They may be switching man. You've got to come down and move regardless. Late clock. Culver again. Does he have breaks?
Puts him on, but left it short. Bailey the rebound. 2 on the clock. Will they get it off? Jalen Harris to beat the buzzer. Got it! They're going to count it. And Arkansas will go in the locker room with the lead. It was a Culver miss that led to the run.